welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Nats, and I hope everyone is happy, healthy, and doing okay. Alright, so in this video I wanted to talk about something touchy-feely, and I honestly was not going to talk about it because some persons appreciate it while others, I don't know, don't, or think I'm trying to persuade them or push them to the other way, which I'm totally not. But what good would it be if I knew that you guys are tuning into my channel looking for information about migrating to Japan from your home country, or from Jamaica specifically, because many of you are from Jamaica and I'm not being honest with you, you know what I mean? So I don't want to do that to you. I'm having certain experiences in Japan, and I think that it will help you guys if you know about these circumstances. Again, I say this over and over. The things that bother me here in Japan may not bother you in Japan, but at least you will have an idea of what goes down. So when it happens, you're not like, oh my god, what do? I don't know what to do, I've never heard about this, or so on. I'm here to tell you all the things that other persons may or may not be telling you. Alright, so that is what I wanted to talk to you guys about in this video. Just some of the mental struggles that one can go through while living in Japan if you're not strong enough. For me, I'm definitely on the not strong enough spectrum of this grid, because trust me, Japan has become very overwhelming for me. So I just want to touch on a few issues that I think you guys should know and should prepare for when you are transiting to Japan. Alright, so keep on watching. But first, before we get into the video, of course we have to do our NATZNIFICENT fam shout out, so let us get right into that. Alright, so I have my box right here, so let's shake it up as per usual. As a matter of fact, guys, a new form of shout out is coming very soon. I am in the process of like finalizing what exactly I want to do, and then after that we'll be having a new way of shouting out our community. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And this week's NATZNIFICENT fam shout out goes to Moya Wilson. Thank you very much for watching and commenting. Moya, big up yourself. And her comment was, safety in Jamaica is a crime, LOL. And she left this comment on my video talking about 10 things that I will miss when I leave Japan, and safety was one of those things. Moya, thank you for watching. Now guys, back to the video. So the first thing that I want to discuss with you guys is the weather in Japan. Now, I've said this in a few of my other videos, but the weather in Japan is bipolar. Like, the weather does not get more bipolar than it is here in Japan. Like, you will see sun now and rain later, and rain now and sun later, and then by the other day it's rainy again, and then like it's crazy. The weather is crazy. But one thing I do appreciate is that whenever I go on the weather forecast to look up the weather forecast for today or tomorrow, or a 10-day forecast, because they have that on Google, the weather is never wrong. So whatever the forecast says it's going to be, that's exactly what has always happened where I have been living. So yeah, if you're a person like me who does not like the rain, and yes, I come from Jamaica, I come from the Caribbean, and we love the sun, like the sun is our thing. I hate the rain, and because of that, rainy season in Japan is summer. You know, in the Caribbean, in Jamaica specifically, summertime is when the sun comes out burning hot, and you're in your bikini and you're going to the beach and all of that stuff. And it is so different here in Japan, because in Japan, summertime is rainy season. So it is raining all June, all July, and if you are not careful, all of August. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have been hearing me rant all about how it has been raining in Japan and how depressed I have been, because the last thing that I want to do when it's raining is having to go to work and having to commute, all that water splashing up on me, all of that stuff. Like, it is just uncomfortable and I hate it. It's not like it's rainy and cool, right? It is rainy and it's hot and it's humid. So you're sweating, you are hot, no peace of mind, and you are also wet. And oh my god, that depresses me more. Like if you're on my Instagram, you know all about this. So guys, if you're a person that you know the weather affects your mood, be prepared for bipolar weather in Japan, because if you're not strong enough, it will drive you crazy, because it is driving me crazy, to be honest. The second point to mention that can affect our mental stability here in Japan is loneliness. Now, when you leave your home country, you're coming to a whole new country, a whole new culture, a whole new set of people who do not speak your language, a whole new set of normal that you have to now learn and adapt and all of those stuff. And guys, it is hard. No matter how you think like transitioning to Japan is easy, it is hard. You have no friends, you have no family. The only thing you have, right, is a few co-workers who may be on the same program as you, which by the way, they may not live in the same prefecture or city as you. So seeing them on a regular basis may be difficult, because I have other Jamaican friends here in Japan. We are all a part of a WhatsApp group, but guess what? We only talk on WhatsApp or we video talk on Zoom. We don't see each other often. Why? I live here, they live there, and it is just not convenient. Well, it is convenient to get from one place to the other, but I mean, everyone comes to Japan for a different reason. Everyone is saving their money, and you know, the traveling and all of that stuff. Like if it is not a serious plan for us to get together, like we don't. And that is one of the things that I have to mention. Like you're coming here, you won't be having any friends. You're only going to be a phone call away from your family in Jamaica. Remember, the time zone in Jamaica too is also a thing to know. Japan is 14 hours ahead of Jamaica. So when you are up and pumped and ready to talk, your family and your friends are sleeping in Jamaica. You get what I mean? And then when they are up and ready to talk, it's nighttime and you gotta cook and prepare to go to bed, to go to work the next day. So it's kind of hard to balance two lives, you know, when you have your family in one country, they live in another country without them. It can be super hard, and you find that you'll be going through something, or you want to talk to your family, or you want to talk to your friend about something, and you just cannot find the right time, and so friendships get damaged. You know, you start here, I can't hear from you, you not hearing from me, and all of that stress comes down on you, especially if you are here alone. Well, for me, I do have my husband here, so it is hard for me, but it is not as hard because I have Adam that I can talk to, and he has me. You understand what I'm saying? And my mom, she does her best to answer her phone no matter what time I call. I appreciate that. Love you, mom. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're here alone and you don't have friends and you don't have family, obviously you won't have family here. Unless you have family here, and so you will majority of the times be lonely, and that is something that drives someone into mental instability, like depression and all of that stuff, because you are lonely. I have heard about ALTs that have taken their own lives during this COVID-19 period, because it's a pandemic. The world is going crazy. They can't go home, they can't travel. Our companies here as ALTs all have restrictions. We can't go X place, we can't go Y place. We have to be sending in temperatures every single day. Like all of that stuff, it takes a toll on your mind, and then you know, it becomes too much to handle, and that ALT took their life, and that was very sad. And even in the midst of that, you know, it was very, I'm assuming that it would be very difficult for them to even transport bodies and all of that stuff across the globe during this pandemic and so on. So it really takes a toll. So for all of you on Instagram who, when I post rants and so on about Japan, like, oh my god, they say I'm discouraging them and whatever, I am not trying to discourage you. Like, if you know in your heart that you want to come to Japan, then come to Japan. But that does not mean I am not going to share my journey and my experiences with those who want to hear, because I've received the messages that people are very thankful for the information that I'm giving, and, you know, showing the good side and showing the bad side of what will happen or may happen in Japan. And while others are like, I'm discouraging them, I'm not trying to discourage anybody. I'm just putting some truth out there, and then you can make the decision by yourself. It is crazy. It is crazy to live in Japan as a foreigner all by yourself. You may become depressed, and it is no joke. Like, I've spoken to other ALTs and they have said to me that, girl, you are not crazy. I feel the same way. Japan just has a darkness over it because everyone just operates in the norm. No one complains about anything. John is a Japanese person, and John will go to work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and John will be so tired, don't have any time for his wife, don't have any time for his kids, don't have any time for himself, and John will never complain. You'll never hear John open his mouth and say, I'm tired, I need to take a day off. As a matter of fact, if John is forced to take a day off, John will feel as if he is not contributing to society, and that is how the suicide rate really operates around here. Like, people really feel as if they're useless if they're not doing something constructive all the time. So when we are here crying for little summer holidays and so on, that is not the norm for Japanese people. And so when we say we're tired, they might look at us like tired for what? Like, what? Tired? You know what I mean? So it is crazy. So right now I'm in a new job and we have basically no summer break. Adam and I made plans to go back home, all of that stuff this summer. None of that is happening because one, COVID-19, and two, we do not have any summer breaks. And every single day I rant on my Instagram about not having any time to rest because I need time to rest. Like, it is in the black culture, I think, I highly believe so. We need time to rest. And working when kids are not at school, especially when you're an ALT and you're not doing anything at school. Why are we sitting at school staring in the air? Then you have company persons telling you can't use your phone, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, but you are expected to be at school and working on what, sir? What do you want us to work on? Like, I don't know. But yeah, guys, bear that in mind too when you are thinking about coming to Japan. The next thing is a travel cost. So many people think they come here and, you know, they can sightsee all over Japan and all that stuff. I'm here to tell you that, honey, unless you are, what do I say now? Unless you have like no saving goals, saving plans, you will not be able to travel all of the prefectures and all of the famous sightseeing places in Japan because it is just not that easy to do all of that. I have been here 2 years and I have not been to one landmark in Japan, and that may very well be because of our strict saving plans, because I know many other ALTs and other people who are here teaching English and so on. They have gone places, they have seen places and all of that, but then again, you know, you don't know their purpose of being here. Many of us come here to Japan to pay off loans and to save for the house and to save for the cars and all of that stuff, just debts, you know. And I said this also many times, that with the salary, after you pay those stuff and then actually live in Japan, you don't have a lot of money left to do all of the nice things. So you might find that you might be able to go one place maybe 2 times a year or so. It just depends on how you budget and what is more important to you and what you want to put money towards and save towards. But traveling is or can be expensive. Alright, it can be expensive. It's easy to get to many places in Japan, but it is expensive to travel. The Shinkansen, honey, is expensive. And traveling for 3 hours on the local train, honey, I cannot imagine doing that. Alright, so that is another thing to note. And all of these stuff are things that can play on your mental stability and cause you to be depressed in Japan. That is really what we're trying to discuss in this video. Alright, so the simple things of getting nails and hair done and so, just cosmetic things, guys, like getting your hair done, getting this nice wig laid on my head. I just cannot imagine how much money I would have to spend, and that's why sometimes it's not done properly, because I cannot do my own hair. Getting your nails done, I've said this in so many videos because it really annoys me. Nails, getting nails done like over 10,000 yen, getting a pedicure and so on. It's very expensive, and those are some of the things that make me happy, if you know what I mean. So again, Japan can be depressing depending on what you want from Japan. And I would love to live in a country where I can go out and I can pamper myself, get my nails done, get my hair done, get my, you know, my pedicure and so on, without having to pay an arm and a leg for it. Those are some of the things. Those are therapy for me, you know what I mean? So not being able to like do all of those things, of course I can do it, but that would be if I decide that I am not going to save, or I have to discuss it with Adam and be like, guess what, I am so stressed out, I need to get my nails done, so we are not going to put X amount of money in the budget this month. And that would be so unfair to both him and the budget. You know what I mean? Because I have my personal money as well, but it is just not enough to get cosmetic services at all. So you find that I buy all of these things trying to do my nails all by myself, and it does not work, and I get super pissed and I get super depressed. That just plays on my mentality. So if you are the type of person where cosmetic services are just not important to you at all, of course you could weather through this storm. You wouldn't even care because you wouldn't even visit a nail salon in the first place. But for me, I like those things. Alright, people like to go to parties, I like to get myself sorted out, and I can't do that here. So that is another of the problem. Guys, don't even get me started on finding things in the grocery store, because you see that part of it, like, that is a big problem for me. And I have to take off my glasses because here what now, getting stuff in the grocery store is not easy. Now some people come to Japan and they're like, you know what, I'm in a new country, I'm going to start getting familiar with the food and eating the food and all of that stuff. But you know what, I have not gotten to that place yet, and I still want my Jamaican food. I like food very seasoned, okay, and that is just not what the Japanese persons do with their food. Like, it tastes bland, it tastes weird, I don't like it. And so it is a problem for me to go into the supermarket and find things that I want. Like simple things that I went into the supermarket maybe a month ago trying to find evaporated milk. Something as simple as evaporated milk to complete a recipe, and I could not find it. When I asked someone in the supermarket, they showed me skim milk, and skim milk was not going to do the job that I needed the evaporated milk to do. And I honestly came home and I cried. I cried so much because I'm like, if I was in Jamaica, I could have gotten evaporated milk. If I was in the US, I could have gotten evaporated milk. If I was in Canada, I could have bought evaporated milk without a problem. So why is it that Japan does not have evaporated milk? Like, simple things, simple things, it is hard to find. The other day I ran into saltfish, dried saltfish. Jamaicans, we love like saltfish, right? I mean, well, some of us, even if we don't eat it with ackee, I am assuming that we all know and probably love saltfish. I ran into dried saltfish and I grabbed it up like crazy. It was 500 yen for like a tiny little piece. I still bought it because you know what, you don't find things like those in Japan. So I don't even know what was happening, why I saw that in the supermarket. So yeah, getting simple stuff in the grocery store, it is very difficult, and food is a big part of your nutrition and the stuff that helps to give you energy and all of that stuff. So if you're not like supplying your body with all the nutrients and all the good stuff, then you're going to be popped down, okay? You are not going to be energized, and you're going to be even more depressed. So food is a very big thing that I would say to look into when transitioning to Japan. Also guys, getting simple things like, you know, going to the doctor and all of that stuff. If you have a Japanese friend, then kudos to you. If not, other people are going to have to be in your business majority of the time. Now if you watch one of my vlogs, you see that me and Adam, we had to meet up with our coordinator for her to go through some of our bills and all that stuff. It is the same thing. If we needed to go to the dentist, if we needed to go to the doctor, if we needed to do anything at all, pension payment, anything at all, if we owe money and we're not paying them, other people will know. Third party people will know because they speak the Japanese that you don't speak, and you need them to speak the Japanese and then translate it into English so you can understand. So you have to get used to getting people in your business, alright? If you don't like that, then I don't know what to tell you. You have to figure that out for yourself. Alright, and one of the other important things that I want to touch on is the money, and I forever preach on my Instagram. So guys, if you're not following me on Instagram, be sure to follow me, because that is where you get to see real raw cut, unedited, unfiltered emotions and things that I go through here in Japan that you might be interested in, especially if you are one of those persons moving to Japan very soon. So the money, let us talk about the money, because a lot of persons, I think, get it confused. It is more than what you would work in Jamaica. All right, it is more. You work more money. I am not taking that away from Japan. You work more money in Japan, but also what I think persons are really not thinking about is that you spend much more as well. The cost of living in Jamaica and the cost of living in Japan are two totally different things. All right, the money in the money in Jamaica is generally like low scale, but the cost of living in Jamaica is also low, or lower than most places. But the cost of living in Japan is high, and so is the salary. So you find that even though you work, for example, a teacher, even though a teacher may work 220,000 yen per month, you find that in bills you are paying at least half of that, or a lot of that, close to 100 and odd $1,000 in just expenses. So you're cutting your paycheck in half. So I appreciate that I get to work more money in Japan, but at the same time I still pay a lot more money in Japan to survive. You get what I mean? So that is where I think the confusion comes in regards to, you know, Japan being this big tree of money falling, and you can work and you can pay off your debt in a year and all of that stuff. Now mind me, you can come to Japan and pay your debt off in a year, but what you cannot do is pay your debt off in a year and save for something else in that same year. That is going to be difficult if it is only you coming to Japan. And let me break this down a bit more. Alright, so for example, you're a Jamaican and you're coming to Japan, but you're coming to Japan with, say, 2 loans in Jamaica that you have to pay. Your student loan debt and maybe a courts bill because you had to take out a bed when you moved out of your parents' house, or whatever the case may be, but 2 loans, right? I do not know personally how much monthly payments is the basic for student loan. I thank God that I did not have to pay for student loan. God bless my parents for sending me through college. But what I'm saying is, if you have 2 loans, right, you come into Japan, you're going to want to pay off those 2 loans. Plus you may have personal goals that you want to save X amount of money to buy a car, or you want to save 10% of the cost for a new house or something like that. The thing is, you can save for all these things, but the idea that you can have all of this money within 1 year or 2 years of being in Japan, it blows my mind. It's ridiculous to me. I don't know who, I don't know, if you are in Japan and you were able to like save all of that money being an ALT, not a jet ALT, but regular schmegular ALT that works for a dispatch company. Like, tell me if you were able to like save for all these things in a year, because to be honest, I don't see it happening. What you can do though is you can save and pay off your debt in a year, but you cannot save and you cannot pay off the debt and then save for the house or the car or whatever your other goal is within that same year. It's one or the other each year, you know what I mean? Because remember, as I said, even though you get 250,000 yen for your salary per month, you are only going to be getting at least half of that, you know, for your net salary. And I mean, net salary, cut 250,000 yen into 2. That is 125,000 yen. And out of that 125,000 yen, you have to buy groceries and all of that stuff. So when I say expenses come out of it, you know, like the half that is already gone has nothing to do with like your grocery and like your travel and other things. I'm just really talking about like your taxes and all of that stuff, residence tax, pension, health insurance, all kinds of stuff, right? So while you will be able to put a little 50 or 60,000 yen towards your debts and your loans, I don't think that you'll be able, out of that $125,000 that you'll get net salary, I don't think you'll be able to save separately from that, if you know what I mean. So it is important to know all of these things. Coming here and taking your goal in stages is really the way to go. You have to know that, all right, this year or for the next 6 months, this is the thing that I'm focusing on, and then 3 months after that, this is what I'm focusing on. For a year after that, this is what I'm focusing on. So coming here, me and Adam, we only have 3 goals, or we only had 3 goals coming here, and so far we've been here, he's been here 3 years, I've been here 2.5 years, and we've only crossed off 1 goal off our list, and that was to pay for our wedding in full, where we don't owe anybody anything. And we were able to do that. We were able to save for a very big wedding, a very expensive wedding, in 8 months. But at the same time, it's 2 salaries, 2 savings, and 1 rent, and 1 grocery bill, and 1 light bill, and all of that stuff. You understand what I mean? So it's 2 salaries, so we end up having more money. So if we're using the example of cutting 250,000 yen in half, then I would get $125,000, but he would get his full salary, or well, not his full salary, because of course his taxes has to come out of his own money, but you get what I mean. He would have more net salary than I do, but then that added to mine would equal to something that would be workable. So that is what I mean by one person being here. Like, it's very difficult for them to like do all of the things in just 1 year. So I hope that is somewhat clear to you guys. The key thing to remember is that the cost of living in Japan is very high, and also the salary is high, so you find that you're spending more even when you are making more. In Jamaica, it would be vice versa. If you were getting Japanese kind of salary in Jamaica, you'd be fine, you wouldn't have to migrate, because the cost of living in Jamaica is relatively low. And guys, where I'm going to actually end this video, or end the points, is the taxes. The taxes in Japan are brutal, and every single foreigner who lives here will tell you this exact same thing. The taxes here are brutal. The taxes here are out of this world. They're unbelievable. They blow your mind. Like, you cannot understand why you were paying $10,000 to only be a resident in Japan. To be honest, I don't know how much the residence tax is in Jamaica, because I left for Japan when I just left college, so I didn't get the opportunity to actually work in the Jamaican public or private sector, so I have no idea what the deductions are like. In Japan, I pay like $9,000 something for my residence tax. Like, just to be a resident here, I'm paying almost 10,000 yen. My health insurance, like $16,000, 16,000 yen, 20,000 yen, all of those costs, guys. Like, it's crazy. Right now, me and Adam, for our health insurance alone, both of us, we are paying 38,000 yen and some change, right? So almost 40,000 yen for health insurance only for both of us, and that has nothing to do with our pension yet. That has nothing to do with our residence tax. That has nothing to do with employee insurance. That has nothing to do with income tax and all of those stuff. So the taxes here are brutal, because they calculate your taxes based on your salary. For most of the taxes that are deducted from my salary, at least, they're calculated based on our salary, and as I said, our salary is relatively high here. So the higher the salary, the higher the deductions, honey. So you'll find that you'll be spending a lot of money in taxes. So guys, that is what I really wanted to like talk to you guys about the mental aspect of living in Japan. It is so difficult to live in Japan. I had like a very bad mental breakdown, because things were just too much to handle for me. Like, I'm so far away from my family. I cannot get the food that I want to eat when I want to eat them. I do not have money to be shopping and, you know, going around and all of these things. I'm stuck in the house because we are saving, and it is a strict goal of ours to leave Japan. When we say we are going to leave Japan with everything that we said we were coming here to get, because then what's the sense we only leave here with half of our goals met? and we are able to fulfill all of them. You know what I mean? So for us, it is kind of better that we sacrifice being happy, and well, we're not sacrificing our happiness in general, but what I'm saying is we're willing to make sacrifices where we're not going out to eat every single weekend and all of that stuff, just so we can have our saving goals together and it stays put, and we can leave here when we said we are going to leave here. You know what I mean? So that is just some of the things I wanted to like talk to you guys about. I honestly believe that I should have recorded this video in that time, like maybe 3 weeks ago, when I was feeling all of the emotions, because maybe this video would be more of a raw chaw kind of thing. I have obviously calmed down now, and so I am giving you realistic things. And for those who continuously say that I am discouraging them, please be reminded that I am not trying to discourage you. I am trying to educate you, and it is so much better. Like all of these things I wish I knew before I came to Japan, so when I'm experiencing them, I could say, okay, I know about this and I could have prepared myself on how to deal with it. So I am doing you a favor despite how bitter I sound against Japan. That is really what I wanted to share with you guys. Like, Japan is no bed of roses, guys. I say that. Like, when you come here, it's hard work, it's dedication, it's being mentally strong. You're going to have a lot of breakdowns in your room when you realize that, oh my god, you're working so much money, and at the same time you cannot do whatever you want to do with that money because it is strictly going into whatever you budget and plan for your life here in Japan. You're going to have the mental breakdowns, you're going to cry for your mama, you're going to do all of the things, you're going to wish you never came here, you're going to experience all of those things. But I am just encouraging you that even when you do come here and you start to experience all of those stuff, just remember the end goal. Look at it in the long run. You know what I mean? When you can see your goal at a distance and you know you're working towards it, it makes it easier for you to stay put and stay grounded. And I want to be that person that tells you the truth about living in Japan, not just the good things about living in Japan. Hey, there's Pokemon vending machines, and you know, there's Sakura and all of those good things, and you know, all, like, guys, it's not just, I know everything glitter gold, I know everything a glitter gold. Another important thing to mention too is that your taxes are generally not deducted from your salary within the first year, because as I mentioned before, your taxes are generally deducted or calculated based on your previous year's salary. And coming here as a first time ALT, you had no salary in Japan, obviously, so your first year in Japan is when you get away with all the things. So I would advise you to save all you can within your first year, because once you touch the second year, all the deduction starts and they're crazy. Yes guys, so that is where I am going to end this video. I think I've talked about a lot, but guys, as I am saying, I urge you, especially if you're somebody who wants to come to Japan, I strongly encourage you to follow me on Instagram, because this video, I have my notes here, and of course I'm not going to be here ranting on all of the things as raw and as natural as I would on my Instagram stories and all of that. So if you are a person aspiring to come to Japan, I really advise you to follow me on Instagram, even if it's that you only watch stories where I am talking specifically about Japan, because obviously I'm not on my Instagram all the time talking about Japan. But when things get tough and I cannot manage it anymore and I'm ranting and I'm talking all the things, Instagram is really the place that gets it first. And then when I come to YouTube, I try to be more structured like this, so you don't get the raw feelings that I'm experiencing right at the time. Because as I said, now that I am recording this video, I am actually very, very calm and I am not so troublesome. It has been raining for 2 months straight, and my Instagram family heard the end of it. They heard me complain every day. God bless their hearts for praying for me. And no, you know, it's been sunny for the past 4 days and I'm very happy. So I am calm and I'm able to give you constructive information here. But on Instagram, I really go off. I go off. So if you want to hear about all of those stuff, then definitely follow me on Instagram, because that's where you get the TT. Alright, anyway guys, that is where I'm leaving you for today's video. If you did find this video informative, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel down below. It really does help to support me, and hit the notification bell to be notified every time I post a video. Until next time, bye guys.
So back to what I was saying.